Should I lint roll?
No, you look fine.
It's up to you.
I don't think you'll be able to see it.
Hair is just an ingredient of our daily lives.
Yes. Appetizer.
Unrealistic if you don't have any on you. Then is it really grooming? I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyways. Hello and welcome to another grooming podcast. I never know when you're going to do that or not.
I don't either.
It's a surprise.
Anyways, I'm Kathleen Austin.
I'm Nathan Austin.
I'm Kat Graney.
I'm Juan Rivera.
I'm always so grateful when you don't forget your name, Nathan.
Yeah.
Because you look like you think about it.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Although I will say sometimes I'm like, should I say Katie
Not the name,
or
but
Kathleen?
I'm concentrating on like, am I supposed to speak right now or like what do I? Yeah.
Am I next? Am I not next?
Yeah.
Where do I go?
What do you prefer?
I don't know. So, I mean, I grew up being, it's funny. So Kat and I have known each other since middle school. Well, I was middle school. She was a freshman in high school. But she went by Katie and I went by Katie. And then eventually we had a class together and it was too confusing. So she ended up going by Kat. And so I was always Katie and she was Kat. And then we worked together and same thing. But I always like tried to segue to Kathlena just because I think it's like very pretty and professional. But it is also just like hard for a lot of people to remember and say. So I always am like, whatever you want. Call me Katie, call me Kathlena. Honestly, I'll answer to anything, even Nathan.
Okay,
so.
well, people also still get confused. People think we're the same people, and we...
Oh, my God.
I don't think we look anything alike other than, I mean, I'm big, she's small, she's...
Pink hair.
Pink hair.
People
brown
get
hair.
confused all the time.
Glasses,
Well,
no glasses.
people that call the salon, too, like they'll call and talk to
You
like...
don't even sound the same.
Yeah,
Nathan
they
and
do.
Kat. Nathan
yeah.
and Kat.
Well, we get a lot of Nathan and Kat, and then but people that like call in and book appointments too, they think we're like if I answer and they're trying to make an appointment with Kat, they're like, "Hey, Kat," blah, blah, blah. And I just go along with it because I don't want to make them feel stupid. And then vice versa, same thing. And then people will come in and be like, "I didn't know you were different people," and we're like, "Oh yeah, we're like two people."
Well, people always sound when I answer the phone and they think it's Katie. They're like, "Oh, are you sick?" Because I have this like horsey, raspy voice and she doesn't, and I'm like, "No, this is my normal voice."
But we have had people before where they'll be like, "Wow, you lost weight,"
Yeah, I was like dramatically,
Rude.
quickly,
and I'm like,
and then they see me like, "Oh, never mind."
I'm like, not really, but okay, thanks, I guess.
People think Ronnie and I are brothers. We went to a comedy show
my
a couple days
God.
ago. And then they got checked their IDs and we're both Rivera, right? Like, oh, are you guys brothers? No, we're husbands.
By
You should
injection.
have said yes and then like started making out partway through and they would have been like really freaked out.
And then she was like, "It's because you guys are wearing the same clothes. You guys are matching." It's like we were both wearing a black shirt and jeans. It's like, so that means we're brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for dudes, I guess
But I
that's
guess-
matching.
Like your parents dressed you or something
Yeah.
before you left the house.
Me and
During
Nathan.
COVID, everyone said we were brothers. Every time we went to the
With your
grocery store.
masks.
Yeah, twins. They're like, "Oh, you're twins." Every time we were walking down the grocery
Oh
aisle
my
at checkout,
God.
"You guys twins? You guys
And
twins?"
at the same time,
we're
both of us were like,
"No."
"No."
And sync.
So they were like,
In sync. Bye, bye, bye. Anyway, I mean, me and Nathan try to match sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Ellie,
Just to match our level of how good we're dressing.
Well, no, but like sometimes same colors, but not as much as you guys. But I don't
I feel like we always wear the same. I'm always
Yeah.
wearing a black shirt. You've probably noticed.
Yeah.
Always a black shirt. Ronnie always wears a black shirt.
Ellie always wants to match with me, and I can never find matching stuff because I'm so big, that
Your
she always.
Amazon.
Yeah, I've tried. I bought those dresses when we were in Hawaii. Remember?
It's a really cute shirt.
Yeah. I got. Well, Macy's by our house is going out of business,
Yeah.
and I got like $1,700 worth of clothes for $300.
Oh, nice.
I got like 7 bags of clothes, so I got some new shirts
Nice.
and new show stuff.
Is that when you got the new dresses too? When you were giving us a little
peep shows.
of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch of new dresses. That's all I really got was just dresses that I'm not even sure I'm gonna wear out anywhere.
Is it for dog shows? You said.
Well, I got a lot of dog show stuff. I got a lot of blazers, shirts, some slacks.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
way more
you
women's
found-
stuff than men's.
There was way more women's stuff, but I feel like you found a lot of
So when
stuff.
I went, it was 3 days until they were closing, and it was
Yeah.
basically either really, really tiny stuff or really, really big stuff. So it worked out for me.
Yeah, I felt like there wasn't a ton in my size.
No.
And some of the stuff I like bought without trying on, so I'm not.
Well, they didn't have. Yeah,
100%.
they didn't have the dressing rooms open. I just started trying on clothes in the middle of the store. I was wearing yoga pants and a t-shirt, and I just was like trying things on. And then I started a trend. 2 other ladies joined me.
Nice.
In a
Yeah.
circle, you guys are all in a circle.
Yeah, we were just standing in the same area because there was like a shelf, an empty shelf there. So we'd like put their stuff on there, and there was like a chair, and yeah,
My stuff was mostly dresses, so I couldn't really try it on. They're like skin tight.
yeah. I don't wear skin tight.
But see, you're lucky because like your daughter actually wants to dress like you. My daughter wants to dress in anything opposite of what I think is cute. I'll be like, "Isn't this cute?" And she'll be like, "Ew."
So Ellie's getting to the age where she doesn't want, not about the matching. She really likes the matching still, but where she wants to like dress herself and not wear what me or grandma picks out for her.
Outfits start to look ridiculous.
No,
Yeah.
Isolde
Matching
has
or
never wanted to
floral
wear what
stripes.
we wanted her to wear. Never.
Yeah.
She has always been,
She's a
I will
free
dress
spirit.
myself.
She has a cute little style though.
Yeah,
If
she
we
does.
pick out clothes, even ones she bought, but we pick it out of the drawer, she's like, ugh.
Yeah, she will not wear it. Like
You
she
picked it.
has
Yeah,
to.
you wanted to buy this, and she's like, "Ugh, put it down."
Like if we go shopping and if I think something's cute, I literally cannot pick it up and be like, "Oh, what about this?" Because the moment I do, she'll be like, "I'm not getting that." Even if I know it's her style. Even if I'm like, "This is like 100% something she'd love." If I'm like, "Oh, look, he's old," then she'll be like, "Ew."
I didn't know 9-year-olds would be that like.
No, but
fucking
she's
sassy.
always been like that.
Yeah, I know.
It's not even a 9-year-old thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, as soon as she came out of the womb, bottles, she was like that.
Yeah, bottles. Ew.
Katie bought like 50 different type of bottles. And
Binkies?
Binkies, anything. And she wanted to eat them. Remember we were like spoon feeding her milk when you guys went on a date when she was like 2 weeks old? Yeah, and she literally just cried the whole time.
Anybody but mom? Ew.
Ew.
Yeah, she hated everybody but me for years.
Are we doing get
I
deep
don't
cards?
think she likes me still.
She's a good kid. She's
Hey
a lot.
babe, you want to read us some deep cards?
You want to help us get deep?
If you had to marry one of your friends, who would you choose and why?
Katie.
Maybe Kat. Yeah. If something tragic befell Nathan, I would just get married to Kat.
Yeah, we just decided we don't need to have any like relations that physical wise. We just, support wise.
Yeah. I love Nathan too much to find somebody new. So I'll just marry Kat and we'll just be best friends for forever.
They already think we're like a throuple, so what's the difference? He just won't be there.
We'll just raise our kids together and bliss.
I don't know.
Nathan.
I don't really have friends like that. I have Kat. You gonna take me, Kat? And then I have.
Just like
I
us, we
don't
the-
have to do
I have the
anything.
boys,
DeBowie.
and there's 2 of them though. So like, can we do like a sister wife thing?
The sister wives.
He is making a very lewd gesture over there, like it's similar in a man skiing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like envision.
Well,
Anyways.
my only option would be Nathan because he's the only other man and I'm gay.
Yeah.
So I
But
think-
you don't want to do like a type of like Will and Grace type thing, but get married.
Girls can be a lot though,
yeah.
to be fair. Just
Girls
to be
can be a
fair,
lot.
we can be a lot. I can be a lot. I'm drama.
Because I'm not a lesbian, but I'd marry Katie.
Yeah. But Nathan just puts up with a lot of my shit. Kat puts up with my shit too. I put up with her shit.
I think Kat and I are actually very chill.
Yeah.
So I feel like we would make a good pair because we would just kind of like
I would
lay at
marry you.
home.
I'd marry you too.
Okay. There it is.
Okay.
So
Easy
no one
peasy.
should pick Nathan.
So everybody would marry
No one picked
Kat,
me.
I
Who would
guess.
you pick?
Nathan.
Right on.
We always knew
Fist
that.
bump.
We always knew that was going to be the option.
I thought you said you
And
loved
I
me.
guess nobody but Kat would marry me. God. Is it because I'm the drama?
Yes.
You're a little drama, yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You
We like your
keep it
drama.
exciting, babe.
I do keep it exciting. I'm never boring.
Yeah, you're not dull.
I'm never boring. You guys live for my drama, okay?
I do. I love listening.
What is the number one thing you look forward to most during your day?
Right now, playing
laying
with
down.
puppies.
I was like my bed.
Yeah. The puppies, I feel like, right now, for me.
I think when the kids get off of school and they come in and then they like give me a hug, like I like that. the best.
I would say right now, another thing is because it's actually sunny when we get
I was
home.
about to say that.
And so I love being able to like go out in the backyard with the kids and hang out in the sun because, as we've talked in previous episodes, I really fucking need that.
Well,
Yeah, sun feels good.
I was about to say that. I was like, I've been enjoying when I go home right now because it's nice out, is going home and then taking Ellie to the park. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've been trying to walk more, and then she loves going to the park. So we like go and have like a picnic and stuff after.
What was
So-
what did the card,
Picnic.
A picnic with a picnic.
what did the card say?
That's part of our day, what we look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
And
I also
my
like
bed.
right when you get into bed.
Yeah, like right.
You know, like right when you get in and the bed's cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Ooh," You
You
get all
like
happy.
snuggle up.
I like that too.
Well, my daughter sleeps in the bed with me, so I guess that's part of it too. Climbing in bed with her and just we snuggle, and then she falls asleep, and then I push her away because she's hot.
Get
When-
the fuck away from me.
Ronnie and I don't like a lot of the same shows, but when we have a show that we like, I like getting off of work, changing, and then sitting on the couch and like turning on our show. I feel like that's just
Oh,
like
that is
it's
nice.
So, it's so nice to just be okay. We're done with the day. We can enjoy each other's company, but not really talk to each other because we were just together for 8 hours, and we
Yeah,
just
right
like watch the show and we like look at each other at the same spots. That's actually my favorite part of the day.
Nice.
I do that with my mom.
What show?
We have a lot of shows.
We watch. So we're a little behind, so we watch on Hulu. The Good Doctor.
I love
watched
The
The
I
Good
just
Doctor.
finished that episode last night.
Okay.
The latest one.
Drag Race. We watch a lot of Drag Race.
Yeah, nice.
We watched the Percy Jackson recently. Was really fun.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah, I liked it. Ronnie's not paying attention.
We don't really watch TV
No,
together
we
that much no more.
don't anymore. But like, when we do though, because like we started watching that show, the Shogun. We started watching that on the plane. We meant to keep watching it when we came home, but then we had puppies, and so I'm so tired that by the time we put the kids down, I go to sleep too.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you when you do have a show that you're watching together, because we're together 24/7. It is really nice to just like sink down on the couch together, turn something on, and then I love like discussing it afterwards.
Yeah, but you know, she's making it seem like it's something it's not, because she generally just falls asleep and then I get pissed off.
Oh, we
I'll
we've
look over
discussed
and her
that
eyes are
before.
closed and I'm like, Katie. And then she opens them and be like, I know, I'm awake. I'm like, no, you're not.
It's really funny though, because I like literally he'll like say my name and I'll just be like, no, I'm awake. I've been awake this whole time.
What just happened then?
It's
Katie?
never
what
like
just happened.
It's never a like startle or like he's got to shake me. It's like literally he'll just shift to like lean forward to see like my face, and I'll be like, no, I've been awake this whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
I feel like I'm a horrible person to watch TV with because I always IMDb everybody to see what else they were in.
Oh, I do that
if,
too.
If the show or movie is like stressing me out, I'll go online and find the whole thing. So I'll read what's happening. That way my anxiety lowers. Like if it's like really suspense, and what's gonna happen? I Google it
Really?
to make sure I know what's gonna happen. So I like brace myself. Yeah,
So I do that for books.
Interesting. You don't enjoy that?
it freaks me out. I don't like it. I get secondhand embarrassment very, very easily. So if I can tell someone, like I was like, oh, I leave or I like Google it just so I can, okay, like she's gonna do this and they're gonna make fun of her. Okay, cool. And then I can watch it in
see.
peace.
I don't do that. But I do for books, like if I'm reading like a series and it's like taking forever for like the couple to get together, and I'm like, are they gonna ever get together? It's been like 4 books. And then I'll have to go and Google it and be like, okay, they will eventually get together. I can power through.
Yeah.
I do that.
I was like, Nathan doesn't even like watching trailers because they give away too much.
I love spoilers.
Sometimes I watch it. I watched the new Joker trailer. It looks so good.
Yeah,
it looks
it
so
does.
with Gaga in it. It looks amazing.
Gaga.
It looks amazing.
It's a
This
musical.
is a musical.
It's a musical.
Yes, I am so excited for it.
I like
Yeah.
a good musical.
All right. Well, today we're going to talk about client communication because I know that's a topic a lot of people are interested in, how we talk to clients, how to like avoid bad reviews, maybe how to fire a client, different things like that. Yeah.
Okay. I'll start by saying I think are we just gonna get into it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I've learned that changing my language when I speak to the clients changes everything. For example, like if I was running late and I'm like, oh, so sorry for being late, or sorry it took so long, I instead say, thank you for being patient here, and then that way they're like, you're welcome. They like see it as like, instead of being like, I'm so sorry, I appreciate you being so lenient, or I appreciate your flexibility.
Nice, yeah.
And then that's like, yeah.
I am being patient.
Yeah. And then it's like,
Good job, me.
kudos to them.
No, I
That's
like
pretty
that.
smart.
I should.
like that.
Yeah,
I don't do
'cause
that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. I
Because
don't.
I'm always like, I'm so sorry, I was running behind. Oh my god, sorry for any inconvenience, or
Yeah, just appreciate their patience, and then they'll be like, "You're welcome."
I think that's a really good way of putting it. Because then if they complain, then they like really come off as an asshole.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
always like, sorry for any inconvenience I caused you.
Yeah. Then you say, oh, thanks for being so patient.
I tend to not apologize a lot.
And I see that a lot on groups where they say like you shouldn't, and I think we just have a really hard time with
I'm
that
an
'cause we're like
over-apologer.
super people pleasers, so we're like, don't beat us.
I mean, just because what are we doing wrong? right?
Right, yeah.
We're going for, like, if it took a long time to groom their dog, we can say sorry for taking so long, but if we went slower, the day was hectic, or the dog needed more breaks,
Right.
or what, it's like things we had to do. It just had to take longer for
Right.
the benefit of the dog. And why am I going to apologize for that?
Right. Well,
You know?
because I mean, if you went faster, then you could have potentially risked injuring them or injuring yourself. Or hello, this like piece of fluff just fell on me.
Or stressing you or the dog out more.
Yeah. So no, I think that's really smart for sure. And I think we have like touched on it before, but I think communication, like being honest but not mean. I think some people have a hard time with, like, say a dog comes in matted, and I know like people have really big feelings about that sometimes, like if it's in a really bad neglected state, right? Where the nails are growing into the pads, or it's, you know, like wounds, you know, like that are matted over, or different things like that. And we have really big feelings about it because we care about the dogs in front of us and their health and their safety, and it hurts our feelings. But if we come at the owners in a rude way or
An accusatory way.
then they are more likely to like not come back, not get their dog groomed again. And like obviously there are always going to be like repeat offenders that just unfortunately don't take care of their dogs. But I just find that if you know, are like, kind might not be quite the right word, but you know, like education, like, so, you know, today we're going to take all this off. Let me show you like the things on your dog's skin afterwards, and let me like show you what kind of like comb and brush, and like you should be coming in on this much of a schedule. Even though like we shaved your dog bald this time, come in every 4 weeks for a bath until it's ready to be trimmed again. And because I always tell people, cleaner coat, easier to brush out, all those things. But if you're just like, oh my God, your dog was so matted, do you see all these like wounds on it, and like he could barely move and it must have hurt so much, and like look at the, you know, like then it's like,
Here's his pelt.
yeah, then they're like very ashamed. Or if you go on your social media and blast them about it, and I get it.
I usually save it for when I get into the salon, get into the grooming room. Save
Right,
my
yeah.
shit talking for then.
Yeah. I mean, because it's not as though we don't complain, because like I said, right, like we all care about the dogs, but ultimately I need to educate the client so that hopefully we can make them better
client,
a better pet
owner.
parent, so that they'll continue to take good care of their dog. And, you know, like I always tell Nathan, because he always likes to make excuses for people. He'll be like, well, they didn't know. And I'm always like, that's never an excuse for ignorance, because like we have the internet and you can look up anything. But at the same time, it's just not going to help. It's just not helpful to be accusatory towards them. While I do think like we should be researching our dogs before we get them, and we should, you know, do all these things. Also, life happens, you know, like you don't know, maybe they got the dog from somebody else in that condition. Maybe their loved one got cancer and they've been busy taking care of them, or, you know, they've been struggling with depression, or there's like so many things and we don't know what's going on in their lives. And it sucks that the dog obviously got like the brunt of that, but here we are to make them feel better. Make the dog feel better, and then try to educate them moving forward.
Yeah, I always like to tell clients with matted dogs, this is just a whole new start, and we're just going to start fresh, and we can work on keeping them fluffy in the future. We'll work together.
Yeah, if you make them feel guilty, they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
And they're not going to learn. They're just going to wait 6 months and then go to the next groomer who's going to do the same thing, and then they're just going to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there will always be people that just shouldn't have dogs, right?
Yeah.
But I like communicating with pet parents, like with like dogging. Or I don't like it, but I don't know why. But I'm always the one that does like the injuries or like the nicks and scrapes, and I always come at it from the perspective of like if it was my dog.
Yeah.
You know, and I always tell people like this is. I usually say the same thing. I say, look. I don't go look. I don't say that. I go. I'm very sorry. You know, accidents happen.
We always try our best.
If there was something I could tell you that would make this better, I would, but I can't. Like, we made a mistake and I got a little too close on the pad.
Or whatever.
It's not your dog's fault. It's not anything. It's just an accident that happened. And then usually when they hear that, they're like, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because then, I mean, like, obviously nobody wants to cut a dog, right? But it does happen. We're using scissors or clippers or whatever, and it's a dog. It's an animal, you know? So, like, expecting nothing to ever happen is unrealistic accidents happen. We try to prevent them. But I think being honest and taking responsibility for even if the dog was crazy and you nicked them, like it's still our job and we're still the responsible human being with the sharp instrument.
Yeah, I always don't think that it's. I hear that a lot. Like, oh well, the dog was moving a lot. I don't ever think it's the dog's fault. Like because you as the groomer should expect the dog to be. You're working with the dog. If it's crazy, you know it's crazy. So like if it kicks or moves around in a certain way and you nick it, like that's because you didn't have foresight or control over the dog at that moment, and you.
Or if it was too dangerous to work on, then that's where you can call the owner and say, like, unfortunately today we could only get X, Y, and Z done because like you really need to work on this and this and this training wise. I'm willing to do it again. Maybe you could try medication. There's like a variety of options that you can go through, but that goes back to communication, right? Like, and it sucks to get a dog and not finish it. But if you feel like the safety is at risk of that dog in front of you, then I would rather call the owner and say, hey, so we're going to need to, unfortunately, we're going to need to work on this.
I think you guys have the best client communication, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I communicate with clients, but you're just like, the way you guys have your stuff set up and the way you communicate with them is like on point.
Well, I mean, you avoid so many issues with clear communication and expectations and stuff. We have been getting a lot of DMs about my handbook. I didn't expect as much interest.
Well, there's this one right
okay,
here.
never mind. I'll
Well,
go
no,
back.
you can read it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Just read it.
All right, I'll read it. It says, hey, Juan, I'm listening to the podcast. Oh, this is from Baby Hawk 17, a.k.a. Jason Wolf.
Oh.
Hey, Juan, I'm listening to the podcast right now about everything salons, and I was wondering about the client handbooks. I'm newer to the grooming world, and policies are something I struggle with, LOL. I have the basic ones, but I feel like I need to improve on them. I'm mobile, so I know it will be a lot different, but I'm definitely interested. So thank you so much. We've been getting a lot of DMs about the handbook, and I wasn't expecting it, so I wasn't ready to actually sell it, so I'm kind of brainstorming how I'm going to do it, and then I'll get back to the DMs. But I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, I think. Thank you.
I'm gonna be your first customer.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I feel like laying it all out there is key because it's. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's lay it all out there.
Well, and I just think that there's like a way of going about it, and I think you guys are really good about that. Like several years ago, I had a newer like employee groomer, and she had a matted dog that she was checking in, and she was trying to explain ear hematomas. Like, your dog could get hematomas. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, that's where when the dogs are shaking their heads and then they'll get fluid build up in the tips of the ears. It's not actually blood, it's plasma, but it looks like blood, right? And it swells up and it gets all crazy looking and the plasma will leak out of the pores. And it's really scary looking for owners. And that can be caused by the circulation being cut off from the mats, right? So she's like explaining it, but she's like, oh, your dog's ears could bleed after I shave them. And
just we're doing a very not good job.
Oh my God. And then she starts freaking out. She's like, I'm not leaving my dog if you're going to make his ears bleed, so then I had to go and talk to this woman. Cause then, she felt like a lot of judgment. And I was like, okay, look, let me explain ear hematomas to you, like this is something that could happen. It's not like guaranteed to happen, but when we shave the ear, it, gets really tingly because some of the circulation was cut off, blah, 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 right? The whole, but I was like, it's totally fine. It's treatable. It's not like something you have to go to the vet for. But if you did, like it's not that big of a deal. Like,
Yeah.
whatever, right? We went through the whole spiel, and then she was like, okay, I'll leave the dog with you, but not the other girl. And I was like, okay.
Well, because those are something that like we can't prevent,
No.
If the dog's ears matted, we have to shave it, right? Because otherwise it's just going to get worse.
And you never know which dogs are gonna.
Some dogs are
freak
more
out and which
sensitive
don't.
than the other. I have a black Russian who I shave her ear tips, and she gets her ears shaved every time. She doesn't get hematomas from it, but she shakes her head like crazy every time.
Sometimes
it's
I'll leave tassels now.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she's saying their ears get tipped.
yeah, because it's a black
That's
Russian.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Anti-tassel.
Anti-tassel. But anyways, and she shakes her head. She doesn't get hematomas, but it's just something that happens. And Some dogs are more sensitive than others. I tell people if they're shaking their heads, it calms down in a day or two. And they can take, like, if it's a small dog, like an old sock and cut off the tip and make a little, like, almost like a happy hoodie for them or pantyhose or something, and just to keep the ears from bashing against the skull, right?
Because that's what causes like the trauma that makes it.
So
Start
basically,
swelling.
they're bruises, right? Because they're whacking their heads and it's hitting the top of their skull and the side of their cheek. And
Oh my God, it's always so like bad though when they start doing like once they get the hematomas and you can't get them to stop and it's like a white dog and they've got like blood splotches all over there. Not blood, but the plasma.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. Now I have
That
to
hasn't happened
send
to
this-
us in a while though.
It's been quite a long
we
time.
I don't think we get dogs that are mad at that like that.
Well, and
we
I-
also pre-shave the ears and we shave one side.
well, yeah, we'll
not
shave like
both
the
at the
inside.
beginning.
Yeah, usually I'll like start releasing it slowly. So I if I'm shaving the whole dog, then I'll start like shave just the inside and then let it rest, and then
Well,
start shave the other
If-
side.
And
never
if
thought of that.
if I feel like they can get bathed, like they can get clean enough under the mats, I'll like shave just the inside, then
Yeah.
have them bathe it and wait until like the very end. And like Kat said though, but like slowly start doing little bits so it like releases a little at a time.
And then
because
I-
it's the tips. If you like leave the tips to last.
Yeah, and then sometimes
Mat
even
tassels.
if they're matted on the top of their head, and I leave some padding here until the very end of the groom, so
It's
they're not
softer.
whacking as much. And then if they keep doing it, I'll put a happy hoodie on them while they're here
Until they leave.
Until they leave, and then I tell the owner, I recommend you put some, just
Keep
watch them.
them from slapping.
And if they keep happening, they can also ice them, ice the tips of their ears. That like with obviously
not
covered.
actual ice.
Yeah, just like a cover, like an ice pack, and
Yeah.
just to relieve some of the swelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't happen a lot anymore, just because I don't think we get dogs in that condition as much.
Yeah. We have good clients.
I think a good way of making sure you have clear communication with clients is not being afraid to ask questions to the client. Like, for example, if someone comes, it's like, don't make my poodle look like a doodle.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, what does that mean to you?
Yes.
Does that mean having a shaved face, or does that mean like separating the ear from the top knot, or like because
having
sometimes
a
people think
Yeah,
that just
I didn't
having
think
the
about that.
separation, so you can avoid that whole. What does that mean to you? You
Yeah.
know, like, and then it's like, oh, I've never been asked that before. This is what, and it's like something that it's like I'm not going to shave your dog's face without you asking for it.
Yeah.
But just asking, what does that mean? I feel like then they can explain themselves, because sometimes they don't really know what they.
Well,
I always
want.
think
Yeah.
when people say that, I always think, you wish.
Yeah. Well, I always used to think it was
You wish
it
your
was
dog could look
the
like
shaving
mine.
of the face. But that's not it at all.
Most
It
often
was
it's
mostly about the
teddy bear
top
heads.
knot, the way the top knot was.
Yeah, if it's too tall,
If it's too
poodly.
tall, if it's too separated, if it's So like to them, the tall, fluffy top knot is what makes it look like a poodle.
Yeah. Well, because I just think we have very different ideas in our head. Like when we see poodle, we see a poodle, like full on poodle cut. But like I've had them say like, oh, don't do a poodle cut. And then I'm like, oh, well, can you show can you show me like a picture of what you're meaning? And they're like this. And it's like a teddy bear head. And I'm like, that's not a poodle cut in any way, shape, or form. Like, yes, you can put it on a poodle, but it's not a poodle cut. So I like I know I've seen some people say like, oh, I don't like when people bring in photos because half the time it's like a different breed or the wrong hair type, but it gives me an idea, even if it is, right, of like what they're thinking in their head. And then I can explain to them like,
How
okay,
wrong they
so,
are.
but I mean, really though,
You're
right?
like,
Because
oh,
then
this
you can be
photo,
like,
this is
hey,
not like your dog at all.
Nathan. You can say though, right? Like, so I see what you're saying. So like the length on this dog, you like that, but your dog is like way curlier than this, or your dog isn't curly like this. So it's not going to look exactly this. And you kind of set expectations from there. Like, okay, but now I see like what you mean about the face, but it's not going to look exactly like that because of this and this. And then at least we're on kind of the same page. Because sometimes I think they say things and it makes sense to them. And we see something different because we have different lingo and
We got groomer
terminology.
brains. We got
Yeah.
groomer brains.
And then you groom the dog and they're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Bashan heads. Everybody's like, I want a Bashan head, but I want the ears long. And I'm like,
I hate that.
it doesn't work like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If you want a Bashan head,
I've just started telling
ears
people
blend.
no. Like,
Although
no, this is really
sometimes
good.
even the photo doesn't always.
yeah.
One
they're
time
like,
we had a lady, she like, her dog's like a Schnauzer mix, I think. It's like, I feel like it's a
schnoodle.
schnoodle, yeah. And she like showed us a picture of like, I don't think it was like a full on Schnauzer, but it had like eyebrows, like separated eyebrows and like a beard. So like we did, it was very subtle though. Like it wasn't like a crazy schnauzer cut. Like the photo was subtle. And so we did a similar subtle thing. But then when
Like
she came
halfway
in
between a teddy bear head and like a
Yeah, like a
schnauzer
rounded
face.
off.
yeah, so it was really cute. But then when she came in, she was like, "What is this?" You know, and then she pulls up I was like, "Pull up the photo," you know, and then I was like, "You see right here these eyebrows, you know, like in this photo."
She started crying.
Yeah, she did. She started crying. But then once I pulled up the photo and had like pointed out the things, she was like, "I didn't even notice that." And I'm
But
like,
she just sees the
God.
picture as like a
cute.
as like a whole instead of seeing its pieces.
Well, like I think Nathan has said this before. When people bring in a puppy picture, like a puppy, like an 8-week-old puppy, and they're like, "Make my dog look like this," and it's like a 13-year-old decrepit dog.
It's like going to the barber and being like, making me look like an infant.
Yeah, but it's not about the haircut. It's about the structure, and most of the time, the picture they show you, the dog's never even had a haircut.
Yeah.
So it's just explaining to them, you know, it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
you know, textures and
I
all
can
this.
do a similar
Everything is
length, but-
about, you know, communication. Like when a client comes in, like a new client, I'm interviewing them. Like, okay, well, what are you looking for? You know, do you want like short or not? You know, because everybody has a different definition of short and long, and you know, ear types and head types and all this. So I'm like, okay, and the ears and the tail, because some people are very passionate about leaving the tail.
One of the questions I ask when I'm with a new client is, how much time can you commit to brushing a week?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
smart.
that's smart.
Because then they say, oh, well, you know, I'm super busy. It's like, okay, well, it sounds like you need something on the shorter side so that way you guys can live your life and enjoy and not even worry about brushing.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
smart.
and then that way instead of saying, well, you should go short because of this, it's like, how much time can you commit to? And then they kind of
It
like,
puts it back
oh
on
my
them.
God, I can do like 30 minutes a week maybe. It's like, okay, well, then we can do like a little fluffier on the leg or something. But I feel like
And then they still
asking
come
those,
tangled, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think asking questions like that too is super important.
Yeah.
Do you have any clients that actually brush their dog?
Yes, yeah.
We have a
Nice.
handful.
Yeah, we do too. Yeah.
I'm always like so impressed. It's like they're doing the minimal amount of like work, and I'm like, oh my God, you're amazing.
No, you know what though? Because like you have several poodles that are in like full moderns, and it impresses me when they come in and they're brushed out because of the fact that like I cannot brush my dogs if they haven't been freshly bathed and blow dried. So the fact that they're brushing dirty coat at home and getting it like
But
brushed out is wild to
But
me.
the girl I do videos with a lot, that she's a white standard
Coco,
bitch.
yeah.
Not Coco, the other one.
Coco.
Coco's
Mia,
Or
you don't
Mia,
do
but
videos
Mia's,
with Mia.
Mia's like matted more every time, so her price keeps going up. And they're like, "Why is she more expensive?" I said, "Well, I had to spend 30 minutes brushing her."
Yeah.
And then I just told him this last time, like, she was matted. I had to brush her again in the same spots.
Right.
And I told him, next time I'm not going to do this.
yeah.
Next time she comes in matted like this, I'm going to have to trim her shorter. So if you want this big haircut,
Well, 'cause
you
it's
need to
taking
put
you,
the work in.
Yeah, it's taking
And
you
I'll tell
longer
her-
and longer.
and I'll tell him, well, we are a team, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I do that spiel a
team.
lot. We're a team. So like I'm doing my part here and I can do whatever groom you want me to do, but I need you to do your part at home, and that comes with brushing, training, you know, and if you need to come in more often for like baths in between, or you know, like there's lots of different things we can do together, but like I can only do so much here.
yeah, I've done like several continentals lately, right?
Yeah.
And I can tell when I put the trim on the dog, I could tell like this dog will never come back again, or it's gonna be matted solid. So it's like it's kind of like
Yeah.
I'm putting the trim on the dog, and I'm like, I'm just wasting my fucking time. I'm putting this trim on this dog. It doesn't look good on it because it doesn't have the right coat to hold it. And then they were saying they're gonna grow it out, but they can't even keep this hair brushed.
Yeah.
Although we were pleasantly surprised with 2 new mini poodles
Yeah,
recently,
excellent.
and they were completely their coat was
Oh, yeah.
really long, like really long. Actually,
But
we
he was
got
foreign,
these.
the owner.
I think it was from Italy. We actually got them from Jonathan David. He
you,
recommended
Jonathan.
us. Thank you. And the owner was like, really, I mean, he kept those dogs in immaculate condition. So I'm sure he'll be back. He was super duper happy. And they got put in little continentals. They were so cute.
Yeah, well, they went to another salon before that, and he asked for a continental. He wanted to start a full continental, but they ended up doing Miami on him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shaving all the important
Yeah.
stuff off.
He
And
said
I-
he picked him up and was like, I wanted a Continental. And they were like, well, we don't know how to do that. So we did the Miami.
No, I think they said that they were matted, and I was like, no way, these dogs are in immaculate condition, and they hadn't been groomed in like 6 months because he was growing them out.
Oh no.
So I was like, no.
Yeah, no, his dogs were in great condition.
And they were well behaved. Like it was nice. It was
But
a
even,
nice experience.
even
Breath of fresh
if
air.
somebody asked me, this is another thing, goes back to communication. If somebody asked me for a Continental and their dog was matted, I would never shave it into a Miami unless I communicated to the owner that this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
I would never just surprise them like, hey, surprise, I know you wanted this, but I shaved it instead.
I didn't know how to do
I
it.
always
Or
tell
it's
people,
matted.
like, if it's too matted and I'm working on this dog and I can't get through it, I'm going to call you and let you know.
Well, because some people, they want to go home and brush it out.
I have
or-
had that happen. Yeah.
Because
But do they?
I've had one person actually bring their dog home and brush it out and bring it was Dash.
Was
He-
it Dash?
I told him he's too tangled. I'm going to shave him. And they're like, well, what can we do? This is when they were new. And I said, well, you're going to have to brush. And they're like, well, how do I do it? And I'm like, okay, well, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I go grab my brushes and stuff, and I'm showing him. It might not have been Dash, but it was a little red doodle. And I'm showing him how to do it. And he's like, all right, where do you buy these things? I told him you could find them here and here and here. He went and bought them. He came back a week. We made an appointment for 1 week, and he came back, and it was brushed.
Yeah,
Nice.
impressive.
Yeah.
But
There were
most of the
still
time,
tangles.
One
it's
of Jeanette.
There was still tangles like here and there,
little
but
ones. Yeah.
overall it was doable.
Well, teaching people how to brush their dogs, they just don't know, you know?
Yeah.
So you get the matted dog in, and then you hope that dog never comes in matted. You show them the techniques, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
We always have dog and coat here, so we can pick up a dog, and even if we shave theirs bald, we can pick up one of our dogs, and it takes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think another thing that helps is when I meet a new customer, I always have the expectation that they don't know shit.
Yeah. Most of the time, they don't.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But in
Okay,
like
yeah.
they're just not educated in dogs.
So expect to have to explain everything.
Yeah.
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 I almost prefer that they don't know
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot. Because then that way
Clean
they will
slate.
listen to me
Yeah.
and do things the way I mean, they come to us because we're the professional.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I do
So-
appreciate that. We had this one client, and the first time she came, of course, she came armed with a photo. It was a schnauzer.
Armed with the phone.
And no, but it was, of course, like a terrible schnauzer cut, terrible. And so then we tried to educate her on how like that was improper lines.
She had a mini, and
No,
this-
her dog's not a mini.
It's,
mean,
it's
it's-
supposed to be a mini.
it's
It's a
supposed to
big
be.
mini, but it's not a standard. And they showed us a picture of a standard, and the standard schnauzer has more hair in the front. And like,
Yeah, but the photo was still hideous.
but the dog was
And the line
hulaed.
was wrong.
The hot dog was hulaed, and it had this big front chest, and she has a mini schnauzer, so they're groomed differently, right? Like I still kind of like. There's people online that I like disagree with about this. So when I'm grooming my mini schnauzer, I groom him like an American grooms a mini schnauzer. So I take it straight in the front, and I did that, and this lady's like so upset because I took its chest off, and I was like, well, you showed me a picture of a different breed.
Well, not just that,
Like for
but
one, these dogs, they look similar, but they're not related. They're shaped differently under the skin. And so like that was like she was so
she was adamant.
that she knows exactly the way it's supposed to be now.
She's like, I'm a nurse. And we're like, okay.
But it's okay. I'm like, it's not the human body.
She's like, I'm a nurse,
nurse.
and I work in the, what was it? In
No,
the,
she said she worked in the
Emergency
trauma
department.
ward.
yeah, the trauma ward.
So
And?
she's like, I'm aggressive like this because I work in the trauma ward, and I'm like,
and we're like,
"Oh,
okay.
it's all good, lady. Like, thank you for your service, but like,
But I'm a professional. And she did eventually come back, and she was like, I'm sorry. I know you're the professional, and I should trust you. But then she still.
well, she went
she'll
and did some
still-
googling.
Yeah.
Well, that happened with that Welsh, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We had a Welsh who had been groomed by
Somebody else.
another grooming shop for 13 years. She came here and they said they
It
wanted a
was-
breed cut.
You should. I have that photo somewhere. We should find that
You took my
photo.
card
So I do a really cute
Because it was.
trim on this dog,
Oops,
right?
It was really bad. No, I groomed the dog.
Oh.
You
Katie
groomed
did
both
a really,
the schnauzer
Katie
and
did
the
a really
Welsh?
cute groom on this dog. Oh no, I checked it out though.
You checked it out.
So
because I
Katie's
was
gone.
getting my
Yeah,
hair
explained it.
done.
And he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Okay, wait a second. I'm confused, right?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, this haircut's all wrong. Like, where's the skirt and where's the legs?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" And he goes, "No, this is not right." I was like, I've been getting this dog groomed for 13 years. Like, this is not the right trim." So I pulled out the first thing, the book I had on hand was Jody Murphy's book. And I opened it up and I said, well, you see this? And he's like, wait a second, let me look at that. And he's looking at it. And then I bring out Notes from a Grooming Table. And I'm like, yeah, look at this,
And
right?
the
And he
AKC
goes,
book.
and then I bring out the AKC book. And he's like, all right, well, hold on. This isn't right. I'm going to go home and talk to my wife, and then I'll give you a call. He goes home.
They never come. They come back
came
next time for
and he's
another
like, we're
groom.
so sorry. Where's the...
No, actually, they never even brought
never
it up.
mentioned
But
it
the next
never
time they
complained.
brought him in, we were like, so what kind of a haircut are you looking to get
They're like,
today?
"Dude."
And they're like, same as last time. And we're like, okay. But we never brought it up. We never made them feel ashamed. We were just like, oh.
But he's trying to
Nathan's
argue with
like,
me. He's
yeah.
like, I've been getting this dog groomed almost 15 years. Like, I've been... and I'm
Incorrectly.
trying to tell him that you've been getting
Nicely.
it done
Your
wrong
groomer was
for
wrong.
this dog's whole life. And
It
he's
was
like,
really bad.
there's no
Like,
way.
Really bad.
Yeah.
And I was
just-
like,
it was
oh.
very, very funny, you know? When he came in and just didn't say nothing.
The dog still comes to this
Yeah,
day.
it still comes to this
Yeah,
day.
he's a really cute...
He's
I
like,
like Welsh.
he's like 15.
He's a really nice
cute.
Welsh, yeah.
And he's shaved. We'd like just trim him with clippers.
On the
It's
back, yeah. His
so
back
easy.
gets clippered, legs.
Welshes
and-
hold up their coat. Their coat is like...
So what about firing dogs? How do you guys
someone
go
asked about that,
firing
right?
dogs?
Yeah, we couldn't find who it was from. Sorry.
I mean, we've had a
You
few-
fired one recently. A
I've-
mobile client.
I
recently.
fired somebody recently. And I mean, so I don't like doing it, and I do try to avoid it if I can, just because it makes me feel bad. I
Well,
don't-
we try to work.
We
with people.
try.
We
Well,
try hard
So
for
I mean,
a while.
we've had a few clients that we've had dogs that are like too aggressive, and we have eventually had to fire them. But we tried different things, right? Like maybe if they were with a newer groomer, we're like, hey, come to one of us more experienced groomers, see if that makes a difference. Hey, why don't you try medication, or you need to work on training at home, and we'll try these different things. But then at a certain point, we're like, it's just putting us at too much of a risk. Like one day, one of my girls got bit on the arm really bad by a doodle, and she wasn't even doing anything. And that had been like the second incident with that dog. And thankfully I don't think it broke the skin, but it was like a huge bruise, and she wasn't doing anything to the dog. And I was like, you've been in training for several months now. This is the second incident we've had. Nothing seems to be working. And just like, I can't put my people at risk like that anymore. Mm-hmm. And the dog was like 100 pounds. It was huge doodle.
big golden doodle.
And we're like, maybe you should go to a vet groomer where maybe they can sedate him or something. I know a lot of places.
For behavioral, that's generally what we do. We'll be like, I recommend going to a veterinarian where there's a groomer on staff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The last one that I fired was actually a mobile client, and it didn't have to do with the dog. It unfortunately was the owner, and we kind of had red flags from the start. And so I like.
Well, she was a very, very nice woman.
She was nice. She was really elderly. She had she has long COVID. And so she was very nice, but she was very demanding. We had to always park in a certain spot, and if we parked anywhere else, she'd get upset, and we had to move. Anywhere on her street, she'd be like, "No, I'll move to this spot." And
feed my dog right now these treats.
yeah, she would
This
have
many treats.
She was like, "Oh, my dog has stomach problems."
Stop. Too many treats now.
Yeah.
Stop feeding her treats.
But she was not, she would be like, yeah, too much. Or she'd be like, Katie, you give her a couple treats. And I'd give her a couple treats, because we always had to sit on our porch for 10 minutes before she'd let us take the dog. And then she'd be like, Nathan, you need to give her treats right now too. Yeah. And then she'd be like, too many treats. These have to last the whole groom, and we'd be like, dude.
Or she's like, sit here, sit down here on this spot. And it's,
That's a lot.
I'm very go with the flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this lady, she was
a
every little
lot.
thing. She just wanted
We had
everything to
to-
happen exactly the way she wanted it.
If we had to wear specific masks, and she provided them, which is fine. I understand she had long COVID and she wanted safety, but then she would always be like, move it, the strap isn't in exactly the right place. You have to move it. Or she would call the salon regularly, and talk to everybody, and she would be on the phone with them for half an hour. She wouldn't let them get off. She'd be like, if it was gonna be raining at all, even sprinkling, she would cancel her appointment. Which I was like, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
What? I can drive in the rain.
But then she would call the shop and say, oh, you have to look on 3 weather apps, and if it's going to be raining, you have to call me to reschedule my appointment.
Oh, so you have to check it.
Mm-hmm.
And not even me and Katie that are going. She was calling the salon staff and asking them.
Harassing them. And I was like, it's too much. It's too, in the beginning, I tried really hard because I understood that she had like these things, and she had already been turned away by 2 other people. That should have been my like sign, but I felt bad, right? Because she's old, the dog's old, they both have a lot of health issues. And I really wanted to make it work, because I felt bad about the situation.
Well, we messaged her and made it clear halfway through this and told her, like, look, we cannot do these things. Like, you need to.
I put my foot down several times where I was
But she just kept, so it wasn't like we never said anything. Like, we had said something to her several times, like, look, we want to help you, but.
Well, because she'd send like paragraphs of message, or she'd be like, nobody's calling me back. And I'm like, look.
We're closed.
We're closed all weekend. I'm not going to call you when we're closed. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to respond to these messages. I'm on the mobile Mondays and Tuesdays. So, like, I'm not going to force my employees to call you and talk to you for an hour. You know what I mean? Like, all of these things are just ridiculous. Like, you're doing too much. It's too much. Yeah. And so eventually, after she canceled like her 4th appointment because it was sprinkling out, and she had kept calling the salon and telling them they needed to check multiple weather apps and call her every Friday because her appointments were always Mondays, and then
Because she needed both of you.
Yeah. Well, and then we stopped working together on Mondays. Nathan's in the salon now. And I was like, I can't do her alone. I can't do it. For my mental health, I can't do it. And every time I was going, I was getting more frustrated. And I knew that like I didn't want to like lash out in an unhealthy way at her. So I was like, I just sent her a very straightforward message. Like, I was like, I really appreciate your patronage. Unfortunately at this time, we're no longer able to service you. I can't remember.
We're just not a good match.
I was like, unfortunately, I just don't think we're a good match. She did try and call and like message, and I just left it at that because I wasn't gonna explain. She's like, what do I have to do? And I was like, no. I didn't. I just never responded back, and I felt really bad. And I hope she found somebody else that better fits her needs. But it was just for us. It was very unrealistic and unmanageable. I just could not.
I think I fired a person before, but I just told them it went bad though because they were very upset, and they were upset at one of our people, and like words were exchanged, and I just basically said, hey, we're not going to be a good fit anymore. I'm sorry, but we're not going to be a good fit. And then it's like I had called them a fucking bitch to their face or something. All of a sudden, is what it's.
Oh, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're like, just like enraged,
Who was that?
I don't remember.
Oh. It was a long time ago.
What are you supposed to do at that point?
Yeah.
When someone's so angry, you can only just try to be.
Well, you can't go back.
You just have to remain. You got to do your best to remain calm and say, "I'm sorry." Yeah. It's just.
Or not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just say like we're not a good fit.
Yeah, we're
it's just not gonna work for us.
I bet you fire people the best.
Well, thankfully we don't have to fire.
We gave you time to think about it.
Thankfully we don't have to fire a lot of people because we have the consultation beforehand where we have the handbook, so we lay everything out before. But there are times where our policies are strict for them, right? Or they think it's so at that point, like if we have any
our
issues,
old clients.
yeah, like so like for example, if they have any issues, it's because they're like late consistently, or if they like cancel last minute or something. So like what I tell them is, I really love grooming your dog, but it seems like you need a salon that can offer you a little bit more flexibility. We need things to run a certain way because that's how we function the best, and that doesn't align with what you're able to do. So you should. I suggest finding a salon that has more flexibility, that has more leeway, where you can, or a salon that has more groomers, where they can move things around quite a bit. Because here things need to run a certain way, and it doesn't sound like it's something that you can work with. And I kind of put it in there, like it seems like you
in their court,
need something that I can't give you.
Which is fair.
Do you give people like recommendations?
I used to. But then they would message me back and they're like, oh, well, you told me to go to this place and they sucked, So at this point, I just say, I'm newer to the area, which I'm not anymore. I've been there for 5 years. But I don't really communicate with the other salons in the area, so I suggest, going online and doing your
Yeah.
own research, talk to your friends and see what they can offer you. Because I feel, not that I see anybody around me as competition, because I really do think that all groomers should work together.
Right.
But I don't feel comfortable because I don't really know these people.
Oh, I
so
think
I
that's
don't feel
fair,
comfortable
yeah.
saying, "Oh, go to this person down the street," because
You
go
don't
ahead.
know.
I don't know them, so I feel guilty or bad.
Right.
Well, I just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel at peace sending
Yeah.
them somewhere where
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
fair. Yeah. We only
That makes
have.
sense.
I mean, because I don't know any other like mobiles in my area. Like if any mobiles in this area listen to us, I would love to know more about you and your experience in grooming, because I'd love to be able to recommend people. But like we only have like one salon, our friends Shay and Dakota, and I recommend them because I know them personally and I can trust that they'll be kind to the dogs in front of them and do a decent job.
I have a hard time recommending stuff like that because
Yeah.
especially now because we have somebody. She's very nice, a bather of ours, but she started working at a mobile because she just moved from us.
Well, no,
She was
they
moving
just
out of
needed
town.
to make more money.
Yeah,
because
and,
we couldn't offer them full time.
Yeah, and they started on this mobile, but she started on the mobile as a groomer, and she had never had even scissors in her hand.
Oh my
So
God.
then she's just going around giving dogs trims, and she had a couple incidents, which
And on mobile, that's terrifying because you're literally by yourself.
but it's a
With the
corporate mobile, right? And I don't know. I need to know some mobiles around here that are people that actually like take it seriously.
Well, and that's the thing that goes back to what we
And
always talk about.
I don't
like,
want to say that she doesn't take it seriously because she does. She wants to learn and become a groomer. And that's great. But
the fact that a business
being on
would
your
hire
own,
somebody
They're
that
okay
has
with that?
zero experience in that particular
is so dangerous.
field is it's super
Well,
dangerous.
actually, they're moving.
Well, they are moving, but they
And-
only have less than a year of experience even. So even to put them on as
Well,
like
they're going to be at a salon. I was talking in they'll teach her.
No, I know, but I'm saying like for the mobile that
Oh,
they
yeah.
were at, like to put somebody in that position that was only even a bather for less than a year is like, even if it was only bathing, to be by
Yeah.
yourself with no help, to be
Honestly,
able to
I
handle
think
any coat type or situation.
Honestly, it makes me upset. Like,
It's
it literally
very
makes me
upsetting.
upset because I.
Think about all the dogs and their care.
Well, because
for
it's-
as
people
the
who are
bather
less
or as the
passionate.
person that's trying to get into the field, that's not their fault because they're gonna take the opportunities that's given to them, right? But
Yeah.
like
I guess.
the person that's in charge of that is, to me, that's total disregard for the safety of the animals.
Absolutely.
And that's not fair. Yeah, I don't
And
think
your
that's
employees.
fair.
Safety for them.
Yeah, safety
because
for your
one of the
employees.
incidents was not an incident upon the dog, but incidents with them.
Yeah, she cut herself with the scissors, and
Pretty good. Yeah.
but like because she doesn't know how to use them.
Yeah.
So, makes sense. Like, and I'm sure if it had gotten like infected or she needed stitches or something, they wouldn't have been happy about that, but like, so anyway, obviously it's something that it really upsets us because, we all talk about it, right? Like continuing education, being safe. We take that stuff really seriously. So to know that, and they have tons of vans here in the area. So then I'm like, who else is working for you?
Yeah.
And that's why I only recommend the one salon because they're the only people I know locally that I can trust.
Yes.
One thing along the lines of communication or client communication that kind of upsets me is when I tell a client, like, oh, your doggy was a little wiggly today, or your doggy tried to nip me today. I've never heard that before. No other groomer has ever told me about that. What
That's
are
a
you,
good point, yeah.
you know? And I wish that more groomers were comfortable explaining what issues came
Yeah.
up in the groom.
And you don't have to be mean about it. Like you
No.
said, right? Like, oh, they were a little wiggly today. You don't have to be like, your dog was fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say? What do you
Well,
do?
like if before I'm a little bit more matter of fact now, but before I'd be like, oh, they were tap dancing on my table the whole time, but I did what I could, or
I say stuff
or
like
like
that.
they were so vocal today instead of like they were barking nonstop. They were a little mouthy, instead of like they're biting. So it's again, it's the words you choose to say, but I think being open with them and letting them know like they weren't bad, they weren't aggressive, they were just a little too wiggly. So yada do this.
Like I was doing this doodle on the mobile the other day, and I hit a toe mat, which I didn't expect. The dog didn't expect. She turned around and bit me.
Freak out.
And so the owner, I told her, because she's like, this dog's has the issues before, and she's a really good owner. And she's like, what was the exact situation? Tell me all this, because I'm going to report it to her behavioral specialist. But I felt like I was turning the dog over to like the police or something. Like, oh, well, I surprised her. She's like, it's not okay. And then she's like, she gave me a tip and then tipped me more later.
You get some. I had a freaking little dog bite give me one of the worst bites I ever had. If you like, when you look on YouTube, you guys, you could see my nails still growing back.
Yeah,
but it bit. I went to go grab. I don't remember shit. I don't remember dogs. I remember I remember a select few, but the mass majority of my requests, I like when I'm working on them, I remember them. But on the drop off, I don't know. So this little cute little dog is in their arms, and then they put their arms out in front of them, and I go to grab it, put my arms out, and it bit me so good. It bit me right through the top of my thumbnail, 2 punctures on the bottom of my thumb, and I like instinctively, like a dumbass, I pull my thumb away. But the dog was biting me so hard, the dog came with my thumb. So then I'm like flinging it through the air, and then it just smacks onto the ground, bam, right? And then the owners look at me, and I'm looking at my thumb, it's leaking.
Yeah, he's
and
just
I'm
like pouring blood. I'm sitting there at the computer
I'll be right back. I go into the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my God, this shit hurts. I could tell it like went to the bone. You can just feel it. And I'm like, Katie, this dog, like, I think I work on it. I think I work on this dog regularly, but I think this is a normal thing. And she goes out there,
because
and
I'm
they're
like, what do you want me to do?
This
right?
happens this happens every
like,
time.
what do you want to do?
And I'm like, when the owners picked up, I said, look, you need to remember. I'm sorry. I told him, like, I don't remember stuff that good.
Well, you're
sorry,
working on hundreds of dogs a month. Hundreds.
When you drop off the dog and I go to reach for it, you need to tell me that my dog bites and remind me. Because if it bites me like this again, I'm not going to take it.
Yeah.
Well, they went to hand it to you face first, and literally when I came back out from the bathroom, it was funny. I'm like sitting there doing my taxes, like watching this, and then I like follow him to the bathroom. So I come out and I'm like, has Nathan worked on your dog before? And they're like, yeah, this happens like every time. And then I was like,
cool.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go get the muzzle.
Like
then.
my thumb was fucked for like a week. I could like
still
put pressure on it. Yeah, it looks, but it doesn't hurt now.
So I like went and got the muzzle, and I like came back and they put it on, and I was like, hand the dog to me, but first. And then we were fine, and the dog was fine the rest of the time. It's like only the handoff, but it's like, come on, your dog does this every time, and you're still trying to hand it to his face first.
But like, I mean, with client communications, that's why I told them, like, I put it to them. I said, please just remember this, because I have it in the notes and everything, but I'm forgetful and I just work through the day. So if I go to reach for your dog, remind me. Don't let me just grab it, and don't just put it into my hands. Like,
well, and that's not the first time we've had people that like know their dog's bite and like just try to hand it to you, and you're like, no, your dog bites, but first.
Another thing about client communication is the people who find it funny.
Oh.
I had a similar situation where a dog bit through my nail and they laughed. Oh. They're like, oh, yeah, she can get a little nippy sometimes. And I'm like, no, your dog bit through an...
That instantly makes me want to be like, get the fuck out.
She bit through an acrylic nail into my real nail. And it took 4 months to grow out. And they, and I said,
like, let me put a nail through your freaking hammer nail.
I was like,
see how you like
the
it.
thing is, it's like, I tell them, it's like we work with our hands a lot, so an injury can be very detrimental to us in our future. So we have notes, but if she continues to be like this, then we might not be able to groom her. So please work on her at home and stuff.
And also don't let people. I have one client that I love, and we get along so great, but she keeps trying to push me to do more on her dog. She has a reactive chow. And she keeps trying to ask me to cut its nails and do the things. Oh, you did it the one time, you did it, but it's bit me bad, and it bites hard and fast. So, and I keep having to tell them. So don't let clients like pressure you into doing something.
Yeah, because we love them so much, and
I
we
love them so. They're literally
it.
my favorites, but I keep having to tell them.
We want to do it, right? Like
I won't. And I keep telling them, like, if I do, every time I do that, I'm literally risking my career. So I will not do it. Like, I love you, I love your dogs. But no.
And we want to help
if you. Want
it's
your
not
dog's
that we
nails
don't
trimmed,
want to help you.
because she doesn't want to put a muzzle on him, because she's like, it upsets him. And I'm like, I could work with him without a muzzle. But for one, it has to fit good. You come in with this huge oversized box cage muzzle. I'm not using that. And so I told him these specific things have to be met, or I'm not doing it. I'm not putting myself at risk. So like, don't let clients guilt you. Oh, just this once, it should be good. No.
I get guilted into a lot of things, mostly taking dogs when I'm already overbooked.
Yeah, Kat does. I'll be like, I would never.
We had a similar situation with a toy poodle. Remember? He wasn't aggressive, but pushing, and then I had to say bye-bye.
Yeah.
I bet you're the best at firing clients, huh?
I don't know if you want to elaborate, but me, I feel so. Yes.
I think it depends. I think
suck.
if like I mean I have a softer approach. So I feel like if I've tried to fire them or like educate them and they just don't get it, then I'm like, okay, Ronnie, next time it's your turn.
Ronnie, you're up.
But we had this toy poodle. I think it was like 15 or 16, skin and
Who has
bones.
seizures.
It has seizures, and it was just shaking. Like he was just on vibrate the entire time. And like they wanted clean feet, and they wanted clean feet. They wanted clean feet.
No.
And I did it the first time because it was probably the first few times, and then that's because he wasn't as bad. He was like progressively getting worse. And then I told him, I was like, I cannot do the clean feet. It's painful for your dog. I have to separate his little toes to shave in there, and they just didn't get it. That he would come in and he would be like half shaved because they would shave it at home. And I was scared that the dog was gonna like pass away while we were grooming it. It could. I mean, it was 16.
We had a dog like that we stopped bathing because you know how they'll have dryer seizures? Every time it went into the back room where other dogs were getting blow dried, it would have a seizure. Yeah. It would have a dryer freak out,
So then we're like, we can give it a haircut,
I told them,
but
we'll
no
trim
more
it.
baths.
And they're like, oh,
not
can't you try to bathe it today? No.
Yeah.
So
I
what
would
you're
rather your
asking
dog
me
not
is
die.
to just give your dog a seizure freak out. Like, you just want that? Like,
Hope it
do you not
doesn't
understand?
die.
Like, every single time. Like, no, stand your ground. Like,
Yeah,
Like,
it was tough.
Yeah, I mean, I told them, I was like, I understand your dog. So we have all our clients on our 4-week rotation, right? But
take a 40 and just do down, and that's it.
Well, I understand this dog needs to be groomed. So what I did was I told him, I was like, okay, we're gonna do every other month. You're gonna come in every 8 weeks because putting him through this every 4 weeks is a lot. So I'm just gonna go shorter.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it every 8 weeks. That way he doesn't have to do this as often. And that worked for a little bit, but at the end of the day, we just had to. Ronnie went out there and he was just like, you know what? It's every time he comes in, because he's also strong as hell. Because it's like when you're trying to like pull it back, and it's like you're gonna dislocate something. So we were just like, you know, he's a small dude, and he's really strong, is really feisty, and doesn't want us to do it. So unfortunately, we can't do it here anymore. I would suggest going to a vet or a groomer with a vet. I mean, poor groomers with vets, man. I feel like we send them everybody.
I know. So
I
sorry.
know. Is there? I wonder if there's a vet groomer listening to us, and they're like, "Fuck these guys." They always get the worst.
I mean, because they can groom like sedated dogs, or you know what I mean. Like it's just a different environment.
Well, you guys worked at a vet where they had a groomer that did that, right?
Me?
Yeah, didn't you work at a veterinarian?
I mean, I did
in
like
high school, right?
In high school, which was a really long time ago, and I didn't.
Back in the 1900s?
Groomers weren't even on my radar back then, so I would like go in there and chit chat with the groomers, but I didn't like. I remember she did do a sedated chow, and then it woke up halfway through the groom.
And it's crazier than ever.
It was fucking freaking out. I was like, that's the only thing I remember.
You're like, I don't ever want to groom chows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and then the old dogs. That's another. I fired people for that. I've just like it's just too much on them, you know.
Yeah, but we try really hard not to
because I know
fire
they
them
need
because
to be
they're
groomed.
senior dogs.
I hold on to them as long as I can.
Yeah, so it's generally like literally at the point where we're like, this dog's gonna pass away. Like if I continue to do this dog is gonna pass away.
Yeah, because we even had dogs that come in where we just trim their hair. They come in and we just like round their feet, get the hair out of their eyes, and then hand them right back.
So to the point where I had open communication, right? I'm like, I am grooming your dog to the best of my ability. It's for his comfort. It's not gonna be pretty, you know.
It doesn't
and
look
I
good.
tell people too, like when they're super old, I'll tell them like, I'm having your dog, but I want you to understand that there is a risk and possibility that he may pass away here.
Yeah, because
like-
it's stressful.
Like
It's
I-
no matter
like,
how
if you
hard
want
we
me to
try.
groom your dog, I'm not gonna. I explain to the best I can. Like I'm not gonna hurt him. I'll be very gentle, but this is a scary place, and there's a lot of people and sounds that I will do my best to get him in and out. I'm not going to bathe them. I'm just going to trim the hair. But there is a possibility that things may happen. So I always make that clear.
Well, and like pick them up right away. We don't want to have to put them in a kennel or, like I've had that, right? Where you like go into like the room with the kennels and you like see the old dog laying there and you like poke it. Are you still alive?
It's like you tell them like you're getting to the point where like, I don't want to groom this dog anymore. But then when they call and say you're not going to groom it anymore, it's like, oh,
it makes me so sad.
The way I see it is
because
like
they like put him down or something,
Yeah.
It always hurts my feelings a lot.
Who's gonna, if you let them go, like which groomer's gonna take on
Nobody.
a new 16-year-old dog?
Yeah, so we try to.
I don't think I've refused anyone in a long time. There was a dog with a heart condition. I said, it was a younger dog, but I was like, maybe it's best at a vet just in case something happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a salon that does like a cutoff at 10 years old, so we get like dogs that are 10. Like, oh, my regular salon says they can't groom my dog no more because it's too old.
Yeah, after 10 years.
I'm
That
like,
makes me
that's-
so sad.
That I don't understand.
But
that.
I could see why they do it because
I
clients
could
can be a little, you know what I mean? It's really hard working with elderly
But
dogs.
yeah, that's where the open communication comes. Your dog could die here. Your dog.
I actually find a lot of like it makes me feel good. Like
Yeah.
they can be difficult, but it makes me feel good.
Comfort grooms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
doing comfort
Comfort
grooms.
grooms.
But I think that again, because 10 is. My standard poodle is 12, and she's still like. She's
I get
doing
clients
pretty
sometimes.
They're
good.
They
coming
show
up
me
on
a
13.
Shut the fuck
They show me a
up.
picture of their dog that I
No.
did.
They're coming up on 12 because Owen's only turning 11. They're not quite 12.
Our dogs are around the same age.
No.
They're only a couple months different.
Shut the fuck up.
They're gonna be 13.
They're not. No, they're going to be 12 this year because Owen's going to be 11 and they're a year apart. Don't age my dog.
Well, I have a client that she
Anyway.
shows us a picture of her dog when she was a lot younger, when she was like 6 or 7, and I did this really cute Asian fusion face. And she goes, "Can't you do it like this still?" I'm like, "Your dog is 14.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't do that haircut."
Well, the hair also changes.
That's
Her
what
hair
it
has
is.
no body left to
Mhm.
it. It's just flop.
She's like, "Can't you just do this still?" I'm like, "No,
Mm-hmm.
no."
I wish people realize that their coat changes as they age.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
your
ours
hair
does,
as you're at
yeah.
80 years old is not what it was when you were 20, lady. You know?
For real.
Yeah.
So sad.
Are we gonna finish with other things or?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a little. Can we do a couple of the reviews? Do we have any left?
Yeah.
let's see.
End it on just like a little bit of a nicer note than
Yeah,
sad
client
senior
communication
dogs.
is hard because
Yeah.
like it's just one of those
Sad
things you don't
senior
want to do,
dogs.
you know?
So this is a review. It says, "Hello, my name is May. I have my own grooming shop, and it's at Grooming by May. And just wanted to let you all know that how much I appreciate your podcast. I've been binge listening to your podcast at work, and I'm absolutely in love. It's educational, humorous, and when I listen while I groom, it makes me feel like I'm working in a shop full of friends and like-minded groomers. Thank you. That makes me so happy."
Right on. That's $500 for that salon name drop. No, I'm just
No, that's sweet. That's super sweet.
yeah, thank you.
We have a message from Sarah Black, and she messaged us on Spotify.
Oh, I didn't
and
know you can do that.
I know, neither did I. So I'm like, oh, look at all these new messages. And she responded to the mental health episode. She says, "I've been absolutely obsessed with this podcast ever since I knew it existed. Love connecting with other groomers in the profession itself. And this episode took it to a whole new level, and I love it."
Aw.
You want to read? This one's addressed to Nathan, but it's too long for him to read.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys you buckle up. If you want to give it to me, you just buckle up and you'll.
No. Come on. No.
We don't got time for that.
Anyways, this is Diamond Groom. They said, "Hi, Nathan. I've been binge listening to your guys' podcast since you sent me the link for it because they had previously reached out and said, where can we find the podcast?
It's on our link tree.
It is on our link tree. That's what I sent. I love it so much. You guys are amazing, and the way you run it is so authentic. Definitely nothing like I have ever listened before. That is meant in the best way possible.
Better.
And no other dog grooming podcast has made me laugh as much as you guys. Listening to you all chat makes me feel as though I have known you for forever, and I'm right there sitting next to you all. It really brightens up my grooming days as work on my own at the moment, and some days feel a little bit harder than others, shall we say. So thank you guys so much. You are truly amazing at what you do. Also, I've just listened to the mental health episode today, and on the topic of collecting continents, It does say counties, and then it says continents. Across the globe of your listeners, you can add a Siberian groomer to your list.
Nice.
Siberia.
Siberia.
Yeah, very cool. Was that everybody?
I think that's
Oh, not Nathan though. That's okay.
Yeah, we hit the hour.
We did it. We did it. Oh, it's me. It's a me.
It's a me.
It's a me. Thanks for tuning into another grooming podcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
See you next week.